So 10/2/18, that was the day before the wreck. Agreed?
That's correct.
And it says that according to this WTE document that Chad had 7 hours, right?
That's correct.
And then if we look at defendant J on the right, it shows that on 10/2, there was a total of 11 hours, right?
That's correct.
And is that driving or on duty or what?
That would, I mean, that's driving on duty. That's what that log's for.
Driving or on duty? Which one?
It's his driving and on duty time is right here in this log.
So when he's pumping water into the truck, that takes 20 minutes, right?
Yes, sir.
He's not driving during that 20 minutes, right?
No, sir.
He's being paid for it, right?
Yes, sir.
Is that 20 minutes included in what we see in Exhibit J?
Is that, yes, sir. It's in there.
It'd have been part of the 11 hours.
Yes, sir.
All right. Does Exhibit J show what time Chad got off work that day?
There he got wrote 1700, 600 to 1700.
That means he was operating the truck between 6 a.m. and 5 p.m.
Yes, sir.
We agree that's 11 hours.
Yes, sir.
Now on the left side, we see the CF freshwater sales ticket, right?
Yes, sir.
What is that?
That's his load ticket where he picks it up at the station.
It's a load ticket. Yes?
That's correct.
All right. And that load ticket is something that Chad Simmons fills out?
Yes, sir. And
And
it's got his signature on it.
Right. You're familiar with his signature?
It looks like his signature.
Signature that you're talking about right there? Yes?
Yes, sir. That's correct.
Looks similar to the signature right here on J? Yep.
Yes, sir.
And it says here that the load time was 1800, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, in regular time, that's what, 6 o'clock?
That's correct.
So that's an hour after the reported in time of 1700, right?
That's correct. That's what it looks like.
So did you get a copy of this freshwater sales ticket?
If I did, I never did put my hands on it. I mean, this is, like I said, this is the first time I've seen this documentation in 2 years.
Was it the business practice of WTE Services to get a copy of this freshwater sales ticket?
Yes, sir.
It's a triplicate, right?
That's correct.
So that means that Chad fills it out, and he takes one copy to the company man out at Purvis. He leaves one in the box at CF Water Sales, and then he brings home one with him, right?
Yes, sir. That's correct.
And you get those tickets, right?
Yes, sir. They turned in to be verified with the his timesheet.
Ultimately, the responsibility of the company falls on you and Mr. Morrison, right?
As far as the decision makings in the company, yes.
Let's move on to the next page on the Purvis documents. We see a load ticket for 1945, correct?
Yes, sir.
And that's a load ticket for whom, please?
And Chad Simmons again.
And that would have been at 7:45 p.m., right?
Yes, sir.
Now 2 hours and 45 minutes past the time that he stated that he was not driving, correct?
That's correct.
And then again at 21:15, there's a load ticket, correct?
That's correct.
For who?
That's for Chad Simmons.
And that's what? Is that 9:15 p.m.?
Yes, sir. I believe that's correct.
All right. So now we're 2 hours and 15 minutes past the time. I'm sorry, 4 hours and 15 minutes past the time that he said he was done driving, correct?
That's correct.
And it looks like there's a difference in time between 1945 and 21:15. That is 1.5 hours, right?
That's correct.
But that's about the time it takes him to make the loop, right?
That's correct.
If we went straight home, that would have been 21:40, right?
Yes, sir.
And then he's got to take 10 hours off, right? So 21:15 is the time that Mr. Simmons loaded the truck up with water, correct? Right, Mr. Gardner?
That's according to this ticket. His ticket that he filled out, that's correct statement.
And how long would it have taken him to go drive to the Purvis location and dump the water?
20 minutes.
Well, now earlier we saw that it was an hour and a half loop.
Okay, you got 20 minutes to 20 minutes to load each way, and then 20 minutes to get to the location. That's 60 minutes in my book.
So what I'm asking is, if he loaded it at 21:15, what time was he done unloading it at the Purvis site?
We can assume that it's 40 minutes.
And so that would put it at 21:55 when he was done working. And then he's got to drive to home, right?
That's correct.
So it's another 20 minutes to get home, right?
Yes, sir.
So that'd put it, and I'm just going to do this. That's 21:15 load time, right?
That's correct.
And that's 20 minutes to get to the well site, right?
That's correct.
And then 20 minutes to unload, right?
Correct.
And then it's 20 for a total of 21:55. That's would be at 21:55, right?
Yes, sir.
And then it's 20 more minutes to get home, right?
That's correct.
Which would put it at what?
22:15.
Now, are there duties that are required after the driver arrives home?
Your post-trip inspection.
Okay, how long does that take?
Most drivers, it takes 10, 15 minutes.
All right, I'm going to mark this as demonstrative 3. Do you see where I've marked that on the bottom right?
Yes, sir.
I'll mark this as demonstrative 4. Do you see that? And you said post-trip takes how long?
10 minutes.
So that puts it at 22:25, right?
That's correct.
And that equals what in regular time? 10:25?
10:25.
He's got to take 10 hours off at that point, right?
That's correct.
So 10 hours after 10:25 equals what?
8:25.
8:25 a.m., right?
That's correct.
All right. And we know that the wreck happened about 8:35 a.m., right?
Yes, sir.
You would agree with that, right?
That's what the report has on top there.
So 10 minutes after Chad was permitted to drive again, assuming he went straight home after he finished that load on 10:2, 10 minutes after that, he got in a wreck, right?
Correct.
But we know that he didn't get in a wreck on the way to pick up water, right?
That's correct.
And Chad didn't haul any water on 10/3/18 after the wreck occurred, right?
That's correct.
But this WTE document says that he worked 10 hours on 10/3/18, right?
Objection form.
Right, sir?
Form.
That's correct. I mean, that's what he's got wrote out there.
Yeah. And this is for work done for hauling water to Purvis, right?
That's correct.
And we see a load ticket from Black Mountain Energy on 10/3/18, right?
That's correct.
And in fact, we see 2 more work tickets for 10/3/18 from Black Mountain Energy, right?
Yes, sir.
So there is no way that Chad Simmons could have hauled 3 loads in the 15, 20, 30 minutes, whatever it was, between the time that he was permitted to drive again on 10/3/18 after the 10-hour break and when he got in the wreck on 10/3/18, right?
Appears to be correct. His paperwork's not right. I can tell you that right now looking at this.
How's this paperwork not right?
It's just not filled out properly.
Where? Point to me. Point it out, please.
Well, we just went through it. our log sheet don't match his time sheet and his load tickets. I don't know what's going on here.
That would be indication that he was falsifying logs, right?
Objection form.
I cannot say that.
If you would have noticed this on your weekly review, would you have thought he was falsifying logs?
Would I have thought it?
Yes.
I would want to bring him in and find out what was going on.
Now, regardless of whether Chad falsified logs or not, WTE Services profited from Chad's delivery of water to Purvis on 10/2/18 and 10/3/18, right?
Objection form.
It appears to be that way, yes, sir.
Because they only paid Chad an hour, yet billed 85 an hour, right?
That's what it appears to be, yes, sir.
And then ratified that by paying Chad Simmons what he submitted, correct?
Objection form.
Repeat that question again.
And then ratified that by paying Chad Simmons for that time.
Objection form.
We paid him for the time that he turned in the office.
So you agreed with it.
Objection form.
I'm not going to agree to it because it's not adding up here.
So do you disagree?
It was paid out. He's got a check stub. Do I agree? I'm not agreeing to anything until I can review this documentation further with my attorney.
Well, you realize this is my only time to ask you questions about this prior to trial, right?
Yes, sir.
So you can't answer one way or another?
No, sir, not till I review this.